details in an I-Team exclusive, breaching privacy. The federal government is investigating cyber attacks at more than a dozen Maryland businesses. Those data breaches affecting more than 100,000 people over the past 2 years.
Yeah, I-Team reporter Tolly Taylor found out how these investigations have affected businesses in the past, and he joins us now with the exclusive details. Tolly.
Yeah, the I-Team has learned the U.S. Office for Civil Rights has ongoing investigations into data breaches at more than a dozen Maryland businesses, including the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CareFirst Administrators, and Maxim Healthcare Group.
I have to just be aware of everything I do. Wherever I put my name down, there's a potential to be hacked or even, identity being stolen.
Maryland residents the I-Team talked to were aware of some of the risks of data breaches, but not the scale of the problem statewide. The I-Team has learned the U.S. Office for Civil Rights, or OCR, has ongoing investigations into 16 Maryland businesses for data breaches over the past 2 years, affecting more than 100,000 people. For the OCR to investigate cyber attacks, the incident must involve breaches of unsecured protected health information affecting 500 or more individuals.
There's a lot of cleanup that has to be done in the aftermath of an attack like this.
CEO Nick Uran says Harbor Labs specializes in helping healthcare companies secure their IT systems, among other things. Uran says hackers can do a lot once they access someone's personal health information.
They could open a bank account, they could file a false tax return, they could make a large credit purchase.
3 of those data breaches the OCR is currently investigating. An incident last year at the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services affecting more than 10,000 people. A phishing scam last year at CareFirst Administrators affecting more than 14,000 people. And a December 2020 hacking incident at Maxim Healthcare Group affecting more than 65,000 people.
When there is a breach, the company has a duty to investigate and then notify.
Jeff Carberg is the director of the Identity Theft Program in the Maryland Attorney General's office. Since 2013, he's seen a 700% increase in the number of data breaches reported to his program per year. Each of the 3 businesses put out press releases notifying those affected in the appropriate time frame, as state law requires, explaining what personal health information may have been accessed and providing resources for help.
And under certain circumstances, they're required to send out notices within 45 days.
A spokesperson for the OCR told the I-Team in a statement, generally OCR does not comment on open or potential investigations. But the I-Team obtained a 2021 OCR congressional report showing the federal agency completed 554 breach investigations that year nationwide, with the OCR enforcing resolution agreements and corrective action plans, and 2 of the investigations ending in the companies paying more than $5.1 million. Carberg says in Maryland, the biggest spike in data breaches happened between 2019 and 2020, when more people started working from home.
We saw a huge increase there, and that doesn't seem to be going away.
And we've now learned of a 17th Maryland business the OCR is investigating following a cyber attack. Carberg says a big problem with these data breaches, when people receive a notice indicating they're a victim of one of these incidents, they often think that notice is the scam and don't protect themselves. You can find a link to the AG's Identity Theft Program website right now in the WBAL TV app. For the 11 News I-Team, I'm Tolly Taylor.